beast! Ah!
Hello and welcome to another Merry Christmas edition of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage Filmography Podcast. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Megs.
And this week we watched 2001's A Christmas Carol, the movie, which is an animated retelling of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, starring Kate Winslet and Rhys Ifans and Nicolas Cage as Marley. The film opens as a live action in Boston, 1867. Charles Dickens arrives to read the story to an audience, and we transition into an animated rendition. Ebenezer Scrooge is a miserly banker who works his only employee, Bob Cratchit, to the bone for a pittance salary, though Bob is a dedicated servant and is grateful to be working. Scrooge's partner, Jacob Marley, died 7 years ago. His nephew has invited him to Christmas dinner, and he's declined. He also has a former fiancée named Belle who works for a hospital that owes Scrooge's firm a significant amount in loans. On Christmas Eve, after Bob has left with a promise to be extra early for the day after Christmas to make up for lost time, Scrooge is visited by the ghost of Marley, who is covered in change and tormented for all of his bad actions. He warns that Scrooge will be visited by 3 ghosts this night, Christmas past, present, and future. Scrooge is shocked but doesn't really believe it. He heads home to go to bed, but at 1 a.m., the ghost of Christmas past arrives, and we see how much the holiday has been a disappointment to Scrooge, mostly because his father was mean to him. Because of his upbringing, Belle ended their engagement when Scrooge presented her with a prenup due to their difference in social status. We also learn his sister was left penniless and disowned after their father's death, as he didn't approve of her husband, and she herself died giving birth to Scrooge's nephew, whose invitation to Christmas he has refused for several years. The next ghost is Christmas Present, and he takes Scrooge on a brief tour of his Christmas Eve. The Cratchits are mixed with Bob being grateful that they can afford such a big bird and having a steady job, although his wife points out that his mistreatment by Scrooge is why their son, Tiny Tim, is so ill. We see Scrooge's thugs emptying an entire house's belongings because of their debts. His nephew enjoys his party and is undeterred from inviting Scrooge to Christmas again. His uncle is his only family. Then we meet the ghost of Christmas Future, who looks like death and who shows Scrooge that his greed causes so many people's deaths, including Tiny Tim's, and when his end comes, no one cares and they'll loot all of his possessions. When Scrooge wakes up the next morning, he throws open a window and asks a boy in the street what day it is, and is surprised to learn it's Christmas Day. His plight was only a night. He decides to change his ways. He calls down to the boy again and sends him to buy the biggest bird he can and deliver it to the Cratchits. Then he buys oranges and hands them out to people on the street, and he fires his thugs and he tries to save the hospital Belle works at, but he's too late. When he arrives home that evening, Belle is there and is angry that he ignored her pleas for help with the hospital in all of these years. He apologizes and promises to do everything he can to get the hospital back up and running and to help as many people as he can. And he makes good on his promise. He quadruples Bob's salary and makes him a partner so Tiny Tim can have medicine. He gives money to the hospital and charities and employs more people at fair wages. Because capitalism sucks. The end. Megan.
Yeah.
What did you think of this movie?
I mean, it's a pretty standard rendition of A Christmas Carol. It's not much different. So we've seen it our entire lives, right? Like it's just, the evils of capitalism and how miserly rich people should give their money to people because they're not going to be able to do good things for you if they can't do good things for themselves. Blah, 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 blah. I hated this. I don't really like A Christmas Carol. I actually don't like it, period. The only one I can really stand to watch is A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Because that is the only true and good one.
It's the only true and good one. You're absolutely correct. There's a plot device that they use in this one, 2 mice, and I can't stand them. they're adorable and I love them, but they don't fit at all with with his character. Like they hang out with Scrooge
Why is
at
he
his
nice to the
office.
mice?
Why is he nice to the mice? Like, he's so nice to them the
He
whole
feeds the
time.
mouse porridge and cheese, and he's like doting on them, and he like, I don't get it.
No. Also, for me, and maybe this is just like a personal thing, but the animation is doing a lot with hand gestures, and it was making me very uncomfortable. Like,
The
they were like,
animation. Let's talk about the animation for a minute, because I
sure.
thought it sucked.
Yeah, it was really bad.
And for a movie that was made in 2001, it has no right being as crappy looking as it is. The movement is weird. The perspective is off.
Yes.
It's blurry.
Do you know what it reminded me of?
Blurry. Even the live action parts of it look blurry.
Really blurry. The animation style sort of reminded me of like paper doll sets, like paper doll house sets, and then they just animated on top of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't, yeah, like it was very lazy.
Like anytime they show somebody full head to toe walking, they can't get it right. And like, there's a scene where Scrooge is going up the steps, and it looks completely like it's flat. It doesn't, like, it's not animated right.
No.
The animation sucks. It just sucks.
Additionally, the timing and sync of the audio soundtrack with the animation was weird. It was very poorly timed. The animation, I don't know. It like nothing synced up. Nothing, like the character movement, the audio track with the animation of the characters moving and speaking. What the fuck is up with the song at the end? Like, this is not a musical movie at all, but in the last, I think it's like, what is it, 10 or 15 minutes, when we learn like the last of his errands on that Christmas day is to try to save the hospital. And as he's running around and trying to save it, Belle is somewhere else and starts singing some random song that's really fucking sad.
Yeah.
And like, it just like, thanks, I hate it. The only part, honestly, that I really liked was the segment with the Ghost of Christmas Present, because it's like a Ghost of Christmas Present acid trip.
Yeah.
So that was a neat segment to watch, but the Ghost of Christmas Present segment is always the shortest because it's taking place at the present.
The only part that I liked is when Bob Cratchit's wife is like, Tiny Tim has pneumonia because Ebenezer threw a pail of water on him. And I was like, oh, really? I kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge now.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the thing about Tiny Tim and the reason that he is small and very sickly is that he very likely for that period of time has rickets, which is caused by lack of sunlight and very poor nutrition, and pneumonia, which could have been brought on by potentially having like TB. And like the treatment for both of those things really is nutrition.
Yeah.
So like that scene where like Ebenezer goes and buys like a giant bag of oranges and he's walking around like handing oranges out to all of the children as Christmas presents. Like, he's literally giving them medicine for their fucking scurvy. Like, that's how much he has devastated this town.
I am with you. I am not a fan of Charles Dickens. I think he's a hack of a writer. I've never liked any Dickens that I've read. I especially dislike A Christmas Carol because it's been done to death. And like you said, the only interesting film version of it is A Muppets Christmas Carol. It's the only acceptable version.
Yeah.
And this one was just done so badly. And I watched this on Christmas Eve and I was like, this is not putting me in the fucking spirit of the holiday.
No, not at all. This is so much of a downer. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm also not a fan of Dickens and his prose. I think that he's very dry. He's not very stylistic. He's more like a brute when it comes to his writing. I don't find him poetic at all. But like, his message for the film is very on the nose. It feels also very poignant and relevant to the times that we're living in right now. But it's like, this is such a ubiquitous yearly story that is just such drivel. And we've been fed this for as long as we've been fucking alive. And it's like every year. And like, the billionaires aren't listening. I don't want to watch this shit anymore. I don't want to hear about a sick kid who's only saved because some guy had a fucking acid trip on some bad mold one night and woke up and he's like, oh shit, maybe I should be nicer. Nah, it's not for me.
It's a running joke that like, oh, I wish Elon would be visited by 3 spirits this Christmas. Like we get it. Living under capitalism sucks. That's the point of this story.
Yeah. What would you rate this though?
I'm sorry, but to me this is an F.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the story, but like even taking aside the fact that it's trite and overdone and everybody's had a fucking Christmas Carol movie, the animation is so bad that I can't get past it. Like it's so bad.
I agree with you.
And like it doesn't feel like it was shot on high def or even on film. It looks like it was shot on somebody's fucking camcorder. It is so blurry and it is so bad that I can't. Yeah. It's an F. It's an F.
It's definitely an F. What would you give the caginess of it, given that he really only had 2 segments and like cumulatively 2 minutes?
I don't know.
I feel like it's one of those where we just have to give it like a null sort of situation. It's like it's not something that we can really rate. Like you can tell from the accent that it's Nicolas Cage, but I mean he's literally only introduced like at the very beginning and then at the very end at the tail end of the Ghost of Christmas Future segment. And like that's it. Like he only has about 7 or 8 lines in the whole thing. I don't really think that it's fair to give him a rating off of that. He did what he could do. He delivered the lines well. They were confident. But I don't think that I can give him an active rating because it really wasn't his thing.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah, this I don't like animation to begin with. Like I genuinely don't. There's some cartoons that I enjoy, but mostly they're just, silly shit. I don't really like cartoons. This was awful. I don't know if this was made for children. I don't know if this was made for adults. I don't know if this was made for the family. I don't know who thought this was a good idea to make a rendering of A Christmas Carol like this, but it's not good. It only has 13%, I think, on the tomato meter. Yeah, 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just this movie is sloppy. This movie is sloppy and it's lazy and it
feels rushed. It feels like somebody, and it also feels direct to DVD. It doesn't feel like, and like I said, this came out in 2001. The fucking Lord of the Rings was coming out in 2001.
I was trying so hard not to make another reference to Lord of the Rings.
You can do better.
You can do better. Like, there's so much better that you could have done. Like, the Fellowship came out in 1999, so in 2001 they were releasing Return of the King, right? Like, I can't abide. I literally can't. Like, Lord of the Rings trilogy is the like sort of gradient that I give any movies after that period, because this is a movie that was made over 25 years ago. Technology has grown and developed so like exponentially more than it was, but that movie still holds the fuck up.
Yeah.
So well. And like, yeah, I know it's Peter Jackson. They had like a tremendous budget. They hired the best possible computers graphics animators that they could have found. I get all of that. But if you're telling me that in 1999 to 2001, we were delivered this masterpiece of a trilogy in filmmaking, and yet we've seen so many films that have come after it that have fallen so far below it that it's like back in the 80s 8-bit shit. Like, this movie reminded me of something that might have been penned in like the 70s. That's how bad the animation style was.
Yeah. So my husband, every time we get a new TV or a new game system or a new Blu-ray player, when 4K came out, the first movie he goes to is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That movie came out in the early 90s. That movie in 4K holds the fuck up.
Yeah.
Now, I get that not everything had the budget of Terminator 2 Judgment Day or
Right.
Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
But there are still plenty of movies that surpass what this is doing, that came out earlier. You know what it reminds me of is the 1970s Lord of the Rings. The cartoon that was done, that just...
Yeah. That was made in like 1978. Yeah.
This looks like a relic from the 1970s. You're absolutely right. It looks like it was a transfer from a VHS tape.
Yeah.
It looks so shoddy. It looks so shoddy. I can't get past it.
Yeah. I can't get past it either. Like, it's so bad. It's like they were like, okay, we have this amount of money or whatever, and like we need to hire an animator, and so they did. And it was his first day, and he was like, well, I have all of these like paintings that I've made, and then I can like draw and transfer paper on top of it. Like, that's what it looked like to me. Yeah, no, it was not good. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop shitting on it because I feel like all we're doing is shitting on it, but it was not good. I would not recommend this to anybody to watch. It's not worth it. We watched it for free. I think I watched it on the Roku channel.
I did too.
So like there's ads for it. I would not pay to rent this. It's not worth any of that. Like this, I mean, if it weren't for the fact that, you know, we're making content, like I would say like don't even listen to this fucking episode. It's not worth it. But like this movie is bad, man. This movie is like, I don't think it's jujitsu bad.
No, but it's up there. It is one of the worst that we've been forced to watch on this project.
Yeah, it's very not good. And I definitely no stars, definitely an F. No grade for Nicolas Cage. Like, he may as well not have even been in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he added nothing.
So there you have it, folks. This movie is a stinker, and we think you should avoid it at all costs. It's not even, like, Left Behind so bad it's good. It's just unwatchable dreck.
Agree.
So that's going to do it for us, folks. Happy New Year as we go into the next year. We've got some 30-odd films left to do in this project, so we'll be with you for quite some time. As always, we are on social media on Instagram at Not the Bees Pod. We are on YouTube at Not the Bees Pod. We are on all of your podcasting apps. We are on Patreon at Not the Bees. And if you like what we're doing, please take us a couple bucks. Please interact with these episodes in any way that you feel comfortable doing so. Otherwise, we will be back at you in the new year. I've been Elizabeth.
And I've been Megs.
And we'll see you next year, folks.